In 1971, the United States enacted legislation limiting asbestos exposure. Before then, workers in certain industries, like shipyards, were exposed largely to unregulated levels of asbestos. The Portsmouth Naval Shipyard was one asbestos hotspot. The asbestos reform process was lengthy, complicated, expensive, and prone to litigation. But by the 80s, the Navy stopped installing most asbestos-laden materials. Subsequently, large amounts of asbestos were removed from refitted and mothballed ships. Nevertheless, workers were still becoming exposed, as described by a 1983 grievance filed against the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. While undergoing overhaul, most of the asbestos materials are initially removed from a submarine by workers who use protective equipment. Unfortunately, after that, other workers who are unprotected can become exposed if the remaining onboard asbestos inadvertently becomes damaged. Also, asbestos dust from the initial work may remain in unseen or inaccessible areas, easily becoming airborne again. As a result of the grievance filing, the following work process changes were made. Asbestos insulation would be clearly marked. A protective covering would be placed on asbestos insulation. More surveillances would be made of potential asbestos areas. Air monitoring practices would be improved. Employee awareness would be improved, and a water injection procedure would be developed to reduce asbestos particulates during the removal process. In a perfect world, well-written procedures are followed by well-trained and conscientious workers. In the real world, problems usually pop up through unintentional oversights. For example, an asbestos work area can become compromised if ladders or decking grates are not considered that can provide access or airflow to and from other levels, or if the work area boundaries are inadvertently changed. When such things happen, hopefully workers can recognize asbestos problems when they do see them and know what to do. Nowadays, asbestos is still rarely encountered, mostly in older piping insulation, newly uncovered areas, or certain types of modern piping gaskets. The good news is that the swap out of asbestos with other materials is ongoing. When this can't be done, the use of engineering, administrative controls, and personal protective equipment are mandated. Extra caution is required when cable, piping, bulkhead, or deck insulation is removed, relocated, or replaced. It is treated as containing asbestos or other hazardous material unless otherwise identified. The work process is also pre-planned with controlled procedures that provide efficient, step-by-step asbestos removal in compliance with OSHA. And it's not just the ships that fall under asbestos regulations. The older shipyards also have some very old buildings. Similar to the ships, the Navy also has policies in place for the management of asbestos during facility renovation and demolition. Thank you for watching. This video was produced by Asbestos.Net, a leading resource on all aspects of asbestos and mesothelioma. Our priority is to inform victims about the devastating effects of asbestos exposure, mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, asbestosis, and other asbestos-related diseases, and to advise them with a wealth of information. Individuals whose lives have been touched by mesothelioma have numerous questions and concerns. Their caregivers and family members also need accurate, reliable information. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos cancer and need more information, we invite you to visit and explore the thousands of pages of oncologist-reviewed material on Asbestos.net, to call our convenient toll-free number shown below and speak with a mesothelioma specialist, or to use the simple contact form found at Asbestos.net to request a free copy of our informative books, custom inserts, and DVD. Asbestos.net, information and help for patients and families.